Pixar is known for its lovable characters, and Toy Story 5 has plenty to choose from if it wants to create bigger roles for familiar faces. Toy Story 4 shone the spotlight on Bo Peep, but there are other characters who are just as deserving of increased attention. Each new Toy Story movie has introduced Woody and Buzz to memorable toys and people, some good and some evil. Let me know in the comments section who you would like to see more of in Toy Story 5 and why. But before Ducky tries to kick me in my head...
foot! Get him. Oh, get him.
Bunny, what are you doing? I can't reach him. Help me out here, come on.
Oh, sorry, Ducky, I'm not a mind reader, you know.
What's not to understand?
Oh, no, never mind. I'd like to say hello, guys and gals. I'm Nick, and welcome to Furthy's Feedback. So, after Toy Story 5 was confirmed, speculation began immediately about how the franchise would top its previous installments. Toy Story 5 ended perfectly, wrapping everything up with warmth and wisdom. A sequel seemed unnecessary, but Toy Story 3 pulled off the same trick. There are many ways to justify Toy Story 5, and one way would be to take a closer look at other beloved characters. Here are 6 characters who we could see return or we would love to see more of in Toy Story 5. Slinky could forge his own identity in Toy Story 5. Slinky Dog appears in every Toy Story movie since the beginning, but he has a much smaller role in Toy Story 4. With the introduction of plenty of new characters, Andy's original toys aren't as central to the plot as they were in previous installments. Despite this, the movie's ending provides a great opportunity for Slinky to separate himself away from the pack and make a big impact on Toy Story 5. Slinky was always Woody's favourite deputy, eager to support him when he came up with a new plan. Now that Woody has been separated from his old friends, Slinky suddenly finds himself without the leader he has admired for so long. Toy Story 5 could focus more on how Slinky forges his own identity without following Woody like the loyal dog he is. Ham's sense of humour makes him an obvious choice. The wisecracking piggy bank Ham mostly fills in the background with the likes of Rex and Slinky, but he deserves to step into the spotlight. He provides a unique sense of humour in Toy Story that none of the other toys can match, and he's often making sly jokes at their expense. Giving Ham a bigger role would also restore Pixar's long-standing cameo tradition with John Ratzenberger, who can also be heard in many other Pixar classics. Any storyline that brings Ham to the fore should probably pair him with Rex. The duo has a wonderful comedic relationship, with Rex's airheaded ideas constantly pressing on Ham's nerves. Since Ham is full of change, he could become the target of theft, and the toys would have to work together to retrieve him. Keanu Reeves' Duke Kaboom could make a comeback. Thanks in no small part to the voice acting of Keanu Reeves, Duke Kaboom stands out as one of the best new toys from Toy Story 4. The Canadian daredevil loves to strike a pose, even if his heroics don't always live up to the TV commercial. Duke plays a small but vital role in Toy Story 4, and he could be a good fit for a more detailed story. Toy Story 4 reveals that Duke's owner discarded him after his jumps weren't as impressive as advertised, and throughout the movie, Duke learns to free himself from expectation. In Toy Story 5, Duke will have to grapple with his new purpose in life. It remains a mystery how Toy Story 5 will reunite Buzz and Woody, but Duke could be the key to any bold plan that the lost toys come up with. Zurg could return in Toy Story 5. Toy Story's Darth Vader pastiche gains a new dimension in Lightyear. The movie didn't perform as well as Pixar was hoping, but Toy Story 5 shouldn't ignore Lightyear entirely. Adding Zurg to Toy Story 5 could even lay the groundwork for a more successful Lightyear sequel, assuming Pixar learned a few key lessons from the spin-off's box office failure. Zurg's reintroduction to Toy Story would allow Pixar to integrate his origin story from Lightyear into its parent franchise. A Zurg with more depth than a simple Star Wars parody could be a compelling villain, especially if Buzz has to face him without Woody by his side. This would add layers to Buzz and Zurg's rivalry, which could increase interest in a Lightyear sequel. Toy Story 5 needs more Bunny and Ducky. Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele have left their sketch comedy show behind them. Key is still working on a variety of comedy shows and movies, but lately, Peele has shifted focus to becoming one of the greatest horror directors of all time. Toy Story 4 brought the pair back together for some laughs as Bunny and Ducky, but the sequel could give the characters even more attention. The fuzzy friends Bunny and Ducky mainly act as hilarious distractions in Toy Story 4. The sequel doesn't necessarily have to change this, it just needs to include much more of them. Key and Peele have such distinct comedic voices that the movie could benefit from simply switching the microphone on and letting them improvise for a while. Bunny and Ducky don't need to impact the main plot much, but they should have bigger roles. And finally, Sid. Years have passed in the world of Toy Story since the original movie, and it could be the perfect time to bring back the franchise's darkest character. In Toy Story, Sid delights in turning toys into twisted monsters. A sanitation worker with an uncanny resemblance to Sid makes a brief appearance in Toy Story 3, but this was little more than an Easter egg. As the only human who knows that toys are alive, Sid could be scarred by his experience in Toy Story. There are so many unanswered questions about how this could have affected him, but Toy Story 5 could resolve Sid's story. In the intervening years, he could have tried to warn others about how toys are sentient, or may have set out to destroy them all.